nyantolum preji ken hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi annun ji senengo adabe hadamadun la baluwo hadamadin ila nyantolum preji hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi hadamadin ila nyantolum hadamadin ila nyantolum hadamadin ila hadamadin ila hadamadin ila hadamadin ila nyantolum preji hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi hadamadin ila nyantolum preji kendomi annun ji senengo adabe hadamadun la baluwo le kono annun hadamadun ka fengo fen dundi akono kono ayanda ke ku senengo ay ke kuti mi yalo ko ata hadamadun mantora madum one stop water solutions limited ibi jande gambia banko kan andun ye fitarole natal mi yalo ko isala jiol kende andi anu isa senen inatale pour ka ji kendo ji senengo natale gambia banko kan jio mi yalo ko atal mantora la annun jio diata baati one stop water solutions limited ye fitarole natal mi yalo ko alse muna fangano la alla pompol isala jiol tenteng ya senendi coming alla fala nyame naketa pompoti bang abo holo fo nawek la pipe wala a filter sifa o sifa one stop solutions ya natalele 10-inch filter set of 3 ya sotalele filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya tenteng natara bankole ba kono fa kenyo wala kankan be bije sa be bon filter fana member ko 12-inch set of 3 filter mi yalo ko acidiota aya dada aya senendi mensebeta alla jata kendato o fana sotale CTO block carbon filter o fana mu filter mi yalo ko asi chemical o bonnino jiol kono le mensebeta alla jata kendeya filter mum boko CTO block carbon mensi jiola chemical be bondi akono pour alla jata kendeya sahen nim filter sabol be kiliwo kilina pansundoku na wata tankol fanan sotali kabrim 500 5000 fokata 10000 liters plumbing fittings fanan be mol bulle alsemol tarano sukuta highway mariama kunda johnson wala ismol kumandi 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water limited solutions inatale ka jikuo be sonende gambia banko.
Welcome back from, okay, are we from a break? Hello there, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am your host, Dana Basonko. Was just asking for something before coming on air. But anyway, this happens sometimes, you know. Sometimes you're on Youth Dialogue, and you're like, welcome to This Morning, or this is QTV News. So this happens. Thank you so much for joining us, Aliou Cisse.
Thank you very much, Geneva. It's a pleasure to be back here.
Yes. So how was your Monday, though?
It wasn't bad. It was good. Start a good week, and we're looking forward to an interesting week.
So
how about you?
Why you funny like us?
No, say that. How much time when you see time you say that? I'm going to small cost you, but time you say that. Well, still again as well cost now, because if you say that, and then you know they're going to put solid this low hand, they've you know how safe to it. Lolo motor.
Kon yo mba dinga muna dem deka ba?
Yeah, waaye nga ñun village la ñun moom yàlla mu ko
dina métti de.
waaye ñu dañ ko miin na xam nga ko xam ne da nga juddoo si dëkk bi yaroo fa ewu suba teel dem si tool bi di travel ay kilomètres pour dem tool ñun miin nañ ko yooyu moom
dafa ku la dégg nag foog ne dang daan dem béy.
no yàlla xam na ko nag dama daan béy nag
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us once again, viewers. You're watching QTV this morning, and we're here with our colleague Amadou Mbodj. He'll be helping us analyze some of the stories that we have on the papers. So, as usual, we have the African Proverb, we have the newspaper review, we have the Community Watch, and today we'll be taking a look at challenges deaf and hard of hearing people face, especially kids living with disability. So QTV, to be honest, has been quite supportive when it comes to disability rights. I can remember at a time when the disability bill was not passed into law, we were effectively reporting on it and putting in some accountability mechanisms to make sure that it is eventually passed into law and all of that.
We even hosted some key stakeholders regarding that bill here on our different programs here. Even on the state of affairs, we had the National Assembly member Yasin Seka, and you know, I know you must have also hosted some people.
Yeah, we did right here on This Morning, I can remember. So to be honest, when it comes to people living with disability, we're not leaving them behind, and it's not even justifiable to leave them behind in any instant. And on social issues, we'll be talking about rampant fire outbreaks during Hamatan and how prepared is the fire and rescue service to minimize disasters. When it comes to the Hamatan, obviously, it exposes us to disasters. So it is important that we know how prepared the fire and rescue service is. we hosted one of the representatives here the last time, and we had an exercise about how to use a fire extinguisher. I can remember. I just hope all of you remember the process. So today he'll be joining us here specifically talking about the Harmattan and disaster. And on Click segment, we'll be joined by Buba Fati to tell us what is happening in the world of entertainment. So Ali, what is our African proverb?
Yeah, our proverb for today says, even if a God has a frown face, it cannot lack a buyer at the market.
Okay, even if a goat has a frown face, it cannot lack a buyer at the market. What does this tell you, Ali?
Bay ak no munta ñaaw ñaaw du ñaka ko jënd ci marché bi.
Am na deeper meaning bu fa nek.
Waaw, am na deeper meaning.
Bu fa nek. So Mr. Mboch, what does this tell you?
Ooh, what does it tell you? Well, we all have our worth.
Yeah.
Everybody's got your worth. Everything. So you cannot lack a buyer at the market. There's a price. We are all priced. So this is it. Some people actually put it earlier on. You talked about disability.
Exactly.
Some people
and
actually.
That is the meaning.
Yeah.
And
that
some
exactly
people actually put it in the context of the so-called able-bodied. Even though we all know that in some areas we have disabilities. There are certain things I just simply cannot do. I have no ability in it. That sort of thing. So this is it. We all have our worth. There is no need for somebody to feel superior or uppity. You see that sort of low impulse. It is quite interesting that these people, they sort of think that they're aiming high when they are uppity, but to me such an impulse is really very low.
I think that is quite true. And when it comes to issues of disability, just the last time we hosted somebody from the Federation of the Disabled, and she talked about the fact that their disability is visible. That is why we're able to see it. But everyone has a disability. There's just something you cannot do. I know each and every one of us in our private corner does have something that we are not proud of. Probably we don't want to say it.
And that's why for me, I believe everybody is differently disabled.
In a way.
In a way.
Yes.
In a way. So.
Yeah. So for me, generally, I saw this post and someone said, do not judge but educate. Educate people but do not judge them. And like you said, everyone has their worth. In as much as the goat is not really looking good physically, but obviously the goat has its worth, and you get to buy it and get to do whatever that you want to do with it. So and also this has to do with just in as much as it has to do with disability as well, for me, it really has to do with, as an individual, making sure you have the right qualities as well, and no matter what, just someone is going to get you. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to put across here. No matter how you are, just make sure you get the right qualification for anything that you're trying to do. Eventually, you will get what you deserve.
It seems to me that you're talking about, I remember watching this movie, Colors.
Yes.
Where we are told that, do you know what luck means?
Yeah.
Luck means preparation plus opportunity.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about something like that. You prepare yourself for when the opportunity comes. Possibly.
Yeah. So you have to, yes. One of my lecturers said she doesn't believe in luck. She said she doesn't believe in luck in a way, because at the end of the day, it has to do with you preparing. Although sometimes two people have the same qualifications and one person gets it, then you wonder if luck exists as well.
But again, perhaps you should ask that person, maybe you're using the same word, but again, conjuring up different concepts, different things in your head. What does that person mean by luck?
Yeah.
For me, luck merely means a favorable coincidence.
Yeah, in a way.
It's a favorable coincidence. That's all it is. So, and that happens in our lives all the time. The other day, I was sitting somewhere, and a young woman came in looking for a job. It just happened that few days previously, somebody had been sacked. So there was this happy coincidence that she came at the right time, and then the position was open. She got it. When we talk about luck, it's about such opportunities. She didn't make that situation happen. This is really what the thing is. And then you, as an individual, you're dealing with a whole network of social relationships.
Yeah, and somebody can just say,
that's it.
I think Mr. Boyd deserves it. He should get this. And the next person doesn't have that network. You know?
So that aspect of things is really not in your hands.
It's not.
So when things go favorably, this is where human beings use terms like, oh, the person was lucky.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's as simple as that. So the idea that I don't believe in luck, I actually fundamentally, I don't understand it. I don't think it makes sense, in a sense.
To not believe in, so
it doesn't make sense. It's in
well, for me, I think whatever it is, it should be something that you deserve. I think for me, it depends.
How many people get stuff they don't deserve?
He's a moralist.
He is, but people get, because of that network, somebody can even get something they do not deserve. It's happening every day.
Yeah, it do happen.
Huh?
Because the problem will be, who determines whether I deserve this or not? How do we determine that? It's really a very, very difficult thing to do. We think that it's easy, but here you will have our biases and prejudices. You have an interplay on all of these things in evaluating, in judging whether this person deserves my mercy or deserves this or deserves that. That is really very difficult to judge. So we don't do that. Yes? I take it what Hamlet, in Hamlet, Shakespeare's Hamlet, fantastic book. When Hamlet was talking to Polonius, one of the characters, he said, you don't treat people according to what you think they deserve. You treat people according to your dignity. So he's taking it away from that because you cannot judge that. But if you have a high dignity of yourself, there would always be a certain decent way that you will treat people. Just depends on how you see yourself. It always begins from there. I think most people who are rude to other people, they don't really like themselves.
Anyway, I sometimes I don't believe in luck, especially in this 2021. Been tough. I don't think I've been so tough. I do not believe it within this period anyway. But like you mentioned,
we'll have a chat again. Hopefully we'll be alive in 10 years' time.
Okay.
Then it will be interesting.
It will be. And see what happens. But 2021, I just do not believe in it. So we'll go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we'll head right on to the newspaper review. We have just one anyway.
Fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower, and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
We deeply apologize for that brief interruption. So now we head right on to the newspaper review. Hello?
Yes, we have the standard newspaper. Like you said, we have one paper today. And then on the standard newspaper, we have APRC rival faction, Roberts Colley, who said the FTA-led camp, APRC really helped in having Barrow win the election. But here the NATO Alliance movement is claiming, Yaya Tamba says that's not true because most of the genuine APRC supporters are with them and not with the FTA-led camp. We also have army support staff arrested with cocaine. Quite interesting story there. And NPP youth president hails voters for re-electing President Barrow. Government confirms offshore block A1 available for bidding. Chairman congratulates President Barrow. And basically that's what we have on the standard newspaper. Mr. Mboch?
Yes.
APRC? The NATO Alliance movement, they are now not in agreement with Yankuba Colley.
Oh, they wouldn't. Of course not. Of course not. They are rivals, aren't they? Well, what did Colley say? Colley says that the APRC helped Barrow to win.
Yes.
and the other one is saying, no, actually that didn't happen, and all the rest of it. Let's be honest with this. This is, to my mind, I don't know, it's a party, it's a dying party. The two factions, they're basically separated now. The Fabakary Tombong Jatta faction is with MPP, that much we know. And the other bit with GDC, well, they were humiliated in the elections. So what next? I think perhaps that should be more important. One should focus more on that, about what next.
For the party?
Than, well, for that faction, that's what it is. The party has split. The party has split. So
if you look at, for example, Yaya Tamba, he's saying, you know, they do not have any majority. Here, referring to FTJ-led camp. We have the majority. I took over this position as interim leader, and within 1 month, I was able to pull over 100,000 people to his camp. Over 100,000 people?
Well, that's what he says. And then what? What has happened?
Exactly.
So
they were in alliance with GDC.
Yes, that faction, they've lost.
Yeah.
So for us, that is what is significant. Not I have
exactly.
gathered this, I have mobilized or rallied, whatever. That's all irrelevant now in many ways. It's all academic. So what next? That's really what the key is. We know that the Fabakary Tombong Jatta-led faction, that is with NPP.
But how relevant is that, considering the outcome of the election? If you are able to pull or take up over 100,000 people from the APJ camp to your camp.
Well, that's an assertion.
It doesn't
we do not know whether
it's true.
Exactly.
You can't confirm that.
Exactly. It doesn't
and judging
reflect.
from what GDC was able to get at the end of the
reflect the
day, you
outcome of the
can't
result,
judge.
so
And for me, that's all irrelevant because we've had the elections and that's it, they've lost.
Yeah.
For me, it's important for them to focus on what next.
Yeah.
That's why I keep on
Exactly.
focusing on that. I really do not want to talk about what happened in the past. It's gone. It's all academic now.
Yeah, so moving on, we have UDP diaspora. Well, quite, yes, we have here Barrow amazed by a man who trekked 480 kilometers to meet him.
Extraordinary.
Yes, I think, is this happening for the first time, Mr.
Yeah,
Mboj?
for the first time.
For the first time,
First time.
I've
Unless if Mr. Mboj can.
Yeah, Mr. Mboj can confirm that.
I've never heard of this sort of thing. I mean, particularly its political context.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, for instance, Jawara in his book tells us that he once walked long distances from, was it Brickham, all the way to the village to see the mother. So these stories, I'm sure the country, many people have anecdotes of such occurrences, that sort of thing. But the political angle of it, I suspect that's a very strange one.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to talk to him and really get his motivation, really, to really get
Quite interesting.
And he's coming from Basse, and we know President Barrow, obviously, there are a lot of infrastructure developments in Basse.
But having to walk from Basse to
No, this is my point. What is the motivation? Because I suspect that. Didn't you have money to take a car? If you had the money to take a commercial vehicle, why didn't you spend it? So to really get at the motivation, because quite clearly you have these vehicles, commercial vehicles, plying the route. Why didn't he take it?
According to him, this is in fulfillment of a promise he had made before the election. That if President Barrow wins the election, he's going to walk from there to Banjul.
To congratulate him. But obviously, too, if he had to take a vehicle, probably he wouldn't meet President Barrow. But with the walking, at least that brings a different...
But you've given us the reason why.
Yes.
He made a bet, as it were, with himself.
Yes.
So he was honoring that. Yeah. Fantastic. I like that sort of thing.
And for him, you know, this is just a show of, you know, appreciation and the love he has for the president and his party. And the president is correct to us saying, if all the civil servants and ministers demonstrate Musa's commitment, then the Gambia will be like Dubai in 4 years.
His commitment.
Well, I'm not sure. 4 years. Yeah, but I know what it means. I'm not sure this can happen in 4 years. I think the problems are much deeper than that. I'm not sure from which angle our president is looking at things, but I think that we have certain very deep problems. It will take a long time for us to sort it out.
What are these problems, Mr. Mboj?
but I thought we were doing a press review. But that's for another platform.
But it's okay to still tell us what these problems are. You know, it's president-elect. He can even use these things, you know, for improvement.
So attitude is one. Attitude.
But attitude is even general. Exactly. It does not have to do with the executive and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, remember the last time I told you about, I quoted the Thomas Sankara experience, as it were, example, where he says that really if you want to do radical change, if you want to effect radical change, you've got to have a certain degree of madness. So many of our norms will have to stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to do so much that the people do not like. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So it seems like it's a paradox with democracy, as it were, you know, the largest democracy, whatever. But no, it cannot be like that. So this is why I'm saying that things are really deep and difficult. You have to do a lot of unpopular stuff. You know what I mean? That's what a leader is. Generally, you see how we are like. We talk about corruption all the time. What do you think we're talking about? It's amazing. And that is the single most formidable barrier between us and development. People say it all the time.
Yeah. So, Ali, moving on, let's take a look at Army support staff arrested with cocaine. I think the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is doing well now, because I don't know if it's because it's reported now. You know, we can't tell, because if sometimes media houses just have a deliberate focus sometimes on just something, and then we tend to think that particular institution is doing so well.
A particular name is mentioned in the story. They said who they said was apprehended at Banjul have died. For me, I would still presume the person is still innocent. I mean, but then the name is mentioned here.
Until proven guilty.
And then, you know,
fine, but we don't have to mention that.
Exactly. So, I mean, the person is still innocent, and then you know, was arrested in Banjul, have died. That was on the 17th of this month, around 1920 local time.
I think students at the University of the Gambia that you know, at the end of every 4 years we get to conduct research. I think students should conduct research on reporting on specific topics, because sometimes the pattern changes, and when the pattern changes and you see it often, then you know it's focused on. It's the institution really doing well, or is it because the reporting it's just focused on? That is why it's out there. You know, I think it's important that we figure that out.
So you mean whether these incidents that we are reporting, you mean whether these incidents sort of capture the reality, or there is something wider that we do not know, so we cannot judge? Because I really cannot judge in the sense that they will tell you of the successes, but you do not know what the failures are.
Yeah, you know,
you really have no idea how much is getting through, which nobody would report on, obviously, because we do not know, relative to what we apprehending, the ones we are catching. So that is it. So it will be interesting for one to do a studies and really look at what is the state of these drugs, how it is getting through, really how much is our agency, or our agencies who are responsible for these things, how well are they doing, how do we measure success, as it were, in these things.
In these areas. I think research, there are a lot of research topics that really people, like I did my research for my BSc was based on disaster risk reduction reporting, whereby, is it like what you just mentioned, whereby is it just reported when the event happens, or the successes that are reported as well, and there was things happening, you know,
and we're missing them. That's absolutely
and we're missing them, and the research found out that we are missing out on a lot of things that are not being reported.
And in most cases, you know, the reporting is mostly after it has happened.
Yes, when it occurs.
Exactly, when it occurs. That's time we report about it. But then where there's an alarm, certainly, in most cases, you know, we don't raise alarm, early warning to say, you know, this is about to happen, something needs to be done. Usually it is when it happened that, you know, it is covered. And in most cases, I mean, it stops there. It happened officially, we say there, it is captured in the media, and that's the end. There's no follow-up as to what has changed.
That is the solutions-based reporting that does not happen.
But this is it as well. Also, when you read the report, sometimes you feel like the journalist, the reporter is more of a stenographer, just taking dictation, come and give it to me back. That's not what you should do. One should go and really read around, as it were, the story, understand it. You know, there are sometimes some difficult questions that I have to ask, you know what I mean, when you're writing this report. So give the reader, or if you're on TV, the viewer, give them a realistic, as it were, report of what is going on, what the facts are. Never mind what is said.
And according to this research that I'm talking about, it showed that the capacity of journalists are very low when it comes in terms of bringing out the solution-based aspect of it. You know, it's always the soap-face, like Mr. Mboj said. He said, she said, you know, the president said. It's all about that, but not, you know, looking deeper than just the soap-face at the end of the day. So, Aliu,
government confirms offshore block A1 available for bidding. This was revealed by the Minister of Energy, Papa Sanya. Mr. Mboj?
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. Oh God, why us? Why now? I mean, fossil fuels. We're all trying to get away from that. We even understand that there are certain donor agencies, certain international bodies that wouldn't even fund development projects around fossil fuels and that sort of thing. So open for bidding, fine. Who would come? Who would take it? It seems the world is turning away from that. So it will be interesting to see how we do this. I know that a few African countries are really clamoring over this decision that, you know, nobody would fund fossil fuels because we will need it for a while. We will definitely need it for a while. So it will be interesting to see how these things pan out.
And you know what's funny? I attended the COP26. Obviously, this was on top of the agenda.
Absolutely.
Gambia has an ambitious NDC, you know, that is trying to, obviously, one way or another, trying to fight these things. So I don't know what's happening right now, having an ambitious NDC and now trying to tap into fossil fuel. I'm a bit confused. I don't know what we're trying to achieve.
No, but this is the thing. It's going to be very difficult. But for us, we really cannot do that now. We have to use fossil fuels in the short term, short and medium term. Otherwise, you're not going to be having electricity in your house for a long time. So this is our reality.
Imagine getting without electricity.
I know. I know all of what you're saying, but I'm just saying these two things are contradicting each other. Well, that's just what it is.
Well, it's just the nature of when you're running a government. You have sometimes some difficult choices to make. It's just the difficulty of these different choices. To see it as a kind of black and white contradiction, no, it doesn't work like that at all. You can do what you need to do when it comes to climate change. For instance, we know that in certain areas they are prone to climate disasters. So how do you help people? How do we rebuild? How do we prepare our early warning systems? You see, all of that, really, it's helping. It's definitely helping. So, but unfortunately, it means that still, because we need the energy, in fact, for these things to work, as a matter of fact, in the short term, remember, this is the key, in the short term, we need the fossil fuels. And then we'll be working towards, you know, what we want to achieve, because that is really what the reality is. Otherwise, the nations that really are responsible for 99% of climate change, really, of the damage, they're still using it, mind you. In the West, they're still using fossil fuel. So you know that. They've just maybe reduced what they were trying to reduce. They have their long term, but they're still using it all the time. So why should we not?
Why? There should be no COP27 then.
No, it doesn't work like that either. It's a plan for how do we get out of this. For you, it seems it's either this or that.
It's not either this or that, but I'm just
Life doesn't work like that.
Oh, I know that, but anyway, this is just, me and Mr. Mboj are just going to have this debate and it's never going to end. It's not like just trying to force things to happen, but these are just the realities at the end of the day, and it just doesn't make sense. It's a bit hypocritical for me, the situation, how it's working. That's how it seems.
Yes, but to me it's not hypocritical. It just tells me that it's a complex. In the short term, we need to wrestle. It's a complex situation, and you have a short-term horizon, medium-term, long-term horizons. It just depends on against which horizon are you judging what's happening.
Interesting. Let's go for a break, Jennifer.
Moving on. We'll go for a short commercial break. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mboch. Why are we always debating?
Yeah,
why are we always debating? You know? Is it intergenerational? Is it an intergenerational thing?
There's a program in there somewhere.
Yeah, this is an intergenerational thing because we never seem to agree.
Anytime Mr. Mboch is here, you always have a story that is quite...
We have to debate. But anyway, it's a good thing. And every single day when we get to debate, I get to learn something from him. Maybe I'm just not honest to him to tell him because I don't want him to win. But I get to learn.
We always learn a lot from him.
Yes,
both him and Mr. Ade, anytime they're here, we learn a lot.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll
We'll go for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we'll head right on to our community watch. Do stay tuned.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using QuickPay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am Q-Cell. I am Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using QuickPay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. Q-Cell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. So, Ali, we head right on to our community watch.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jennifer. Like you said, I mean, Community Watch today, we're looking at the challenges deaf and hard of hearing people face, especially ongoing kids with such disabilities. And we are joined by Mr. Dudu Lum, Executive Director of GATO, and Lamin Fofana, sign language interpreter. Welcome to the program, Mr. Lum. Just like Jennifer was saying, we lay the foundation, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. What is the current state of people who have this problem of hard of hearing?
Thank you. Well, deaf and hard of hearing people, they have been marginalized from opportunities, social, economic, and even political opportunities that is available to other citizens. This is very, very unfair. And the extent of marginalization is so great that most deaf youths are unemployed. Most of them are illiterate. They have very little access to quality medical service. So you see, deaf people, most of them are now laborers and beggars. You go to University of the Gambia, you do hardly see a deaf person there as compared to other disability groups. So it means deaf people are not prepared at the primary level. They have not been provided education facilities. This is a problem. So the society, in their side, they perceive deaf people, the deaf problems as very severe. They look at deaf people as people who are abnormal, people who cannot be the same level with people who hear, which is absolutely false. But this is the way deaf people are being seen in the society. Okay. So the society, the same, the family and community of deaf persons the same. They don't see anything around that will encourage them to help their deaf members. So you see, and the government, they fail to do the right approach to solve deaf people's problem. That's it, summary of it.
You talk about the government not taking the right approach to address your concern, but as a body, in this case, GATO, what have you done in terms of engaging, dialoguing with the government to ensure that your challenges and problems are addressed by the government?
Well, the government should see us as stakeholders. Sometimes work together. Because GATO, Gambia Association for the Deaf, and the deaf adults who form it, it is special. No other body or government agency can work like our organization, because we have resources that the government needs. Yeah. We to utilize these resources and improve life for deaf and hard of hearing people. So right now, we are NGO, and as you know, we are disabled people's organization. The most area that we can pressure the government is to advocacy. We advocate for attitude change. We like to show that deaf people are as capable as other people. So this, they need to look at this. Our advocacy, they listen very carefully so that they come. Because most of the government officers, they travel abroad. They see very highly educated deaf people there. Some are engineers, some professors, some doctors, some successful businessmen. So this experience is enough. Together with what they hear from us, they should plan for development for them.
Jennifer, you want to come in?
Yeah, I mean. So let's focus on social protection a little bit, because with proper social protection being put in place, people with disability get to fall in. Recently, I had a conversation with Kajali Sonko, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Gender and Social Welfare, and he talked about the fact that all the infrastructure that is needed is put in place now to ensure that there's a robust system when it comes to social protection. So I just want to know, having a proper social protection in place for the Gambia, how will that benefit people living with disability? What will that change?
Well, I'm not aware of areas where their policies are effectively implemented. They have talked about they have written their policies, their activities they have to carry out, but we don't see any effect.
Okay.
Social protection is supposed to help more people with disabilities, but as far as deaf people are concerned, we don't see this help.
Okay, but they decided to put in place a social protection registry and just putting in different logistics when it comes to social protection. So are you aware of this whole process? Have you never been invited for any validation program or any process towards building the social protection system of the Gambia? Because I know it's currently under construction, as said by the Permanent Secretary.
So what they should do is to popularize it. So they meet with the stakeholders, like the beneficiaries, like people with disabilities. We sit together and then inform them about what we think about it. But they should not sit there and make such policies and think everything is okay. Sometimes you find that when it comes to implementation, there are mistakes there.
And also, moving on, this is just a follow-up question as we are discussing challenges that hard of hearing and deaf people, especially kids, get to face. I know you got funding to implement this project for deaf children to be able to communicate with their parents. How far with that project? The last time I visited your office.
Yeah, sadly.
How is it going?
Well, the program continued to be more successful. Yeah. I was surprised today. Parents are very happy and grateful about the program. Yeah, they communicate with their deaf children at home. So they feel proud of this. Yeah. Other people will look at them, they say, why did you learn this? The parents will say, we are for the support of God.
Yeah.
So the children, they smile. Yeah. They can tell you when the child asks them, what do you want, Papa? What the hell is causing? He can explain the child, we don't understand. So you see, they use their role in bringing up the children. Yes, when it reaches the school going age, the child will have no problem. Yeah? Even at an older age, this is good. Because they integrate in the family, they take part in family decision making. This is good.
So Aliu, I don't know if you're aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I checked, Binta Baji is still the deaf graduate in the Gambia from the American International University. Is that still the case? And if that is still the case, tell us the measures that your organization is trying to put in place to ensure that there are more graduates from the university. You just said that there are no deaf students at the University of the Gambia. So what can we do to ensure that we have more of Binta Baji?
Well, Binta Baji, as you know, he completed university. But Binta Baji's case is special.
Okay.
Special, not many deaf people can be like her. So she graduated from St. John's School for the Deaf. From there, he have admission to Nusrat High School. Yeah. But as I say, she's naturally intelligent, like her, and she can trap things without even the support of a sign language interpreter. Not many people, deaf people can do that. Okay. So for more education, for more opportunities for deaf people, you have to prepare them. For example, in the high school, deaf teachers, they need to be equipped with knowledge of sign language interpreting. Okay? Above that, there need to be interpreter service because of the demand. Yes, the level of demand for higher education teachers. You will not train a sign language interpreter to support them. Okay. But at primary and secondary level, these teachers should be prepared to make sure they have enough knowledge of sign language to communicate with them. With deaf people, if it is integration in mainstream schools, well, the same, they could try. They could try the same, find a way at times to communicate with the deaf person and explain to cover the shortcomings they have when it's general discussions in the class. Okay. If I'm in a situation where you have settings especially for deaf, yes, they should create a sign language environment. Okay. Everybody should be signing there. Yeah.
Yes, earlier on you mentioned the issue of having so many people with hard of hearing. Some have been reduced to street beggars. I mean, what are you doing to ensure that they are either enrolled in school or engaged in productive sectors like learning skills?
Now, there are deaf youths who pass the age of going to school. Now, these are youths who can be productive. Their talents are wasted because of the lack of consideration, society's lack of consideration for them. So now, what we think can be done is that we should provide special training, skill training, vocational training. I mean, yeah. Now that Gambia Association for the Deaf, they produce sign language interpreters. We can provide interpreters. So now it is the state and other stakeholders' responsibility to establish good technical institutions where these people can learn. Yeah. They should learn, at least they could earn for themselves. Yeah. But the going to university and so on is late. Okay. But the same, they are human beings like us. They continue to suffer. They have no job. Their life will be boring place. Yeah. They can put an end to this. This can change by providing them skills, and they do some kind of business that will get them independent and self-reliant.
Maybe they can go to university, but I believe we have the Gambia Technical Training Institute here where they can go and
Aliu, for me, I totally believe that they can go to university, in as much as he's talking about the fact that Binta had a special case, but Binta also had people that pushed her. So I just feel like if the same is done for other hard of hearing children and deaf children, they will be able to have the same thing. So as long as we have already Lamin here, who is a sign language interpreter, I also think it is important that we engage him, because right now I am aware that we have very limited sign language interpreters in the Gambia, and all of you are overwhelmed. Yeah, you are very, very overwhelmed. So I just want to know how, as a sign language interpreter, you're able to deal with this, because it's the same faces that we see all the time. Lamin Fofana all the time, Lamin Sonko all the time. So we want to see more faces. So what can be done to ensure that?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question.
That is very true. Now,
yeah, so that for that question, we will allow Lamin Fofana to be able to deal with that as a sign language interpreter, obviously.
Lamin, yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for that question. That you are rightly so. We are very much overwhelmed with work because we are limited sign language interpreters. Yeah, and we are very few. That is, we were 6 and we are reduced to 5. We lost one of our members, Bakari, in August, last August. That's the case. What we should do is to remedy that situation. I think we should partner with the government, at least to help us train more sign language interpreters to at least meet the demands of the deaf people. Okay. And it's only deaf people around the Combos, the Greater Banjul area, that are enjoying sign language interpreters services. Some in the how to call it, in the rural Gambia, they hardly have services. As for me, I live in my family live in Jarasoma, and there is a deaf branch because we have 12 deaf branches across the Gambia.
Sure.
So time and again, when I visit, some of them would have their complaints or they want my service, then I would render it to them.
Okay.
But other than that, we are under capacity.
All right.
And
And how many female sign language, qualified
female sign language? We have only one, that is Mansata, who is at the school in Brekama.
Okay.
She's the only sign language interpreter.
And why do you think that is? They are not coming up to learn, or
they are not coming up to learn, and we are appealing to the community, the people to at least come, and our doors are open. Gado is there, whoever want to learn sign language, we are very much happy to help you out, to at least join us to cope the unlimited situation.
And I think, Ali, we should also learn.
Yeah, we should.
Right, Ali? Yeah. Because at least know the basics.
Exactly.
Just to know the basics as journalists, because we get to deal with these people on a daily basis. Yeah. Sometimes you meet them on the highway, in as much as they do not know what we're saying when we're on TV, but they recognize our faces, they'll be like, hi. So it's just important that everybody understands it. I can remember one time the theme for sign language day had to do with you sign for human rights. You don't sign for money or because it's your job, but just for human rights, for just everyone to be able to understand what you're saying. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for the work that you do. I am particularly so interested in the project that you're currently implementing, which has to do with deaf children being able to communicate with their parents learning sign language, being part of decision-making processes in the household. I think for me, that's your most brilliant project, because most of the time, people living with disability, especially children, are left out. So I think it's a really, really good one. Looking forward to another engagement with your organization. Thank you so much for coming. So viewers, we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by representatives from the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. As we know, the Harmattan season is here, and obviously during the Harmattan, disasters occur frequently. So they will come here to tell us how prepared they are. Do stay tuned.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, Q Money and Ria just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your Q Money account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any Q Money agent across the country to receive your payment for free, or use the money immediately to buy credit, Q Power, and other Q Money services. It's fast, safe, and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sinu Calpe. Terms and conditions apply.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q Power. I am QCell. I am Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
With so many things to do in a single day, it's important to have a network you can trust. When there's family and friends to connect with and business calls to make, you need a network that is reliable and fast. Talk longer, browse faster, go farther, and roam wider. When your network is solid, the world is your oyster. QCell, your trusted network in the Gambia.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I am your host, Jenna Bosonko, joined by my co-host, Aliou Cisse.
And guess what, Jenna?
What?
You have not mentioned one-stop water solution.
Bam, tey affaire si dafa metti.
Mom la de one-stop water solution.
Affaire sa ngi metti so fok ma faté. So one-stop water solution, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of us, and stop by Sukuta Highway there for all your dispensers, for all your tanks, huh? Fok ma faté rek, fok ma faté. But moving on, we head right on to social issues now. Like and you know, these gentlemen are always willing to join us here.
Yeah.
This is the second or third time that they are making it here on this morning to do their sensitization. Aliou, when the Hamatan season comes, ñu joggé jaara soma di mboyo. Xam nga duñ dé diw ñu joggé jaara. Wa jaara yi xam nga duñ dé diw time yi Hamatan. Way wa ñomi ñun dañoo diw. Gis nga mbaa kenn joggé yu fi jaara. Welcome to the program, gentlemen. I'm from Nyomi. Xam nga ñun wa ñomi dañ am class dañoo diw. Suñ skinny look good. So when it comes to the Hamatan, obviously, with all seriousness, when it comes to disasters, they just increase because of the wind and everything that it comes with. So these two gentlemen today from the Fire and Rescue Service will be telling us how prepared the Gambia Fire Service is in relation to minimizing disasters. And recently I saw your partnership with Avon Fire Service celebrating 3 decades of partnership. I saw that, and they got to donate something else. So hopefully that can be used during this Hamatan also to further help minimize the rate of disasters. So tell us about that, Piaro.
Yeah, thanks so much, Madam Sonko, and your friend for hosting us once again. Aliou Cisse. It's important. Those materials could not have come at a better time. We've celebrated 30 years of partnership, and 30 years of partnership is just a very long time. 30 years of saving lives, 30 years of rendering humanitarian services, and 30 years of protecting properties from the destruction, destruction of fire and stuff like that. So we received this gesture, but this is not the first time that we've been receiving this. Like you said, these materials have come to help us to reinforce our strength in firefighting, especially this moment, because this is a moment where we register the highest number of fires when it comes to bush fires. In fact, even sometimes domestic fires, because because the wind will be blowing at a rate that couldn't be controlled by people, and sometimes it can spread easily. Yeah.
All right. So, Aliou, do you have any engagement with them?
Yes. I mean, for me, as far as this fire outbreak is concerned during this period of the year, how prepared is your office to ensure you are able to respond in time?
Yeah. I would talk about the firefighting preparation, and my friend will talk about the sensitization aspect.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have a proactive firemanship and reactive firemanship. I may go into the reactive firemanship, where we fight fire if there is fire. When he will talk about proactiveness, fighting fire before a fire.
The early warning aspect, right?
The early warning aspect, yeah. Our preparation towards this is very simple. It's like we have men that are already trained, equipped. Like I said, these appliances couldn't have come at a better time than this. They come at a time that we need them. And looking at the fact that for the first time we have what they call a water bowser. I think I have discussed that here the last time. Before the water bowser even arrived, I told you guys we're expecting a vehicle that carries a heavy quantity of water. And that is like that can mobilize water within from one place to the other. And it will make life so easy. So if we have that kind of facility and we have a bush fire, it's just a matter of this tank moving to the direction, parked at a particular place, and then be supplying the other fire engines, and then life will be easier. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we have prepared. These are plans on the ground, and that is why we have these machines. And we've said some time ago that we are having constraints with vehicles. So the fire services today, we celebrated this thing, and we were very, very happy that there is no station in the country today that doesn't have a fire tender, at least one or two. So that will make life easy. But the issue here that we could also unfold is the fact that when we have fires, sometimes society tends to distance themselves away from that, because before we come, they will be right there doing their thing, because they feel it is a problem that is facing them, that is bushfires. But immediately they see the fireman arrives with a fire tender, probably with a tank capacity of 2,000 or 1,500, they will just withdraw and go home. It has happened over and over, and I think my friend will talk more about that. Yeah.
Maybe you can. Yeah.
Well, Ali, recently also we've seen a story on QTV where the complaint was that Nawek, no electricity at that point in time. That is what actually increased the fire. I don't know. How about that? Does that affect you? I'm not sure if that affected the fire service or it was the people living around there. There was no water and they couldn't help in any way. So I don't know which is which.
You mean electricity with what?
I mean water. Nawek ndox amut.
Yes.
Yeah, because kurang amuton.
Kurang wa ndox amuton.
Yeah, because water and electricity.
Yeah, there is a positive relationship between water and electricity. Yeah. We understand that because we used to be stoned at when they say there is fire at so place and we could not get water, and they will tell us you don't come with water even. And sometimes it's not even our fault. Okay, we decided to find out why. But we were made to understand, this is not our area. We are end users, for example. Okay, but we were made to understand that there is a positive relationship between, when there is no electricity, there cannot be water. So automatically, society needs to know that. Let them not see us as people who will only willingly just go to fight a fire without water. It's not possible. It's not possible. Sometimes there is not even water with the fireman. Yeah.
Okay. No. So in terms of sensitization, how far have you gone in raising the awareness of the people, especially those in rural Gambia where you usually have these bushfires?
Thank you very much, Ali. I think it's 10 days now since we left Keneba. We are on a whole day committee sensitization. Wow, and the topic was environmental protection from bushfire. Because we've learned that a year ago there was a huge bushfire at that place. And that has even killed most of the animals, and the livestock, foodstuff also was destroyed. And that's why we felt that it was a necessity that we try to talk to them on that particular issue. And we went there with our counterparts from everyone. They were also there, and they also participated in sensitization, including him and me. We talked to them the dangers of bushfire. And then if you look at bushfires, it is something that is actually affecting our environment. And then we know the consequences are tied to our environments being destroyed, especially from bushfire. It can lead to desertification, and we know when there is no much trees in our forest, we are bound not to be receiving much rainfall. And when there is no rainfall, again, what may happen is that our agricultural production may be very low. Like no rain, no much food to cultivate. And that again has a lot of consequences on us as human beings. This is why we were trying to make sure that we talk to them in that area. And again, since we can't have a peaceful, life when we don't have our properties, especially the animals that we are rearing in our compound, because we didn't need them most. The goats and donkeys and other things, we need them in order to have our lives, at least, balanced. So when we are always losing them as a result of these bushfires, it is another problem. But again, bushfires don't just start like that. there are factors that would contribute to this issue.
Because many times when you go out there, you ask people, they're like, oh, I mean, the cost of the fire is unknown. I remember
to them it is unknown.
Exactly. 2 years ago, I was in Kiang, around Kiang, Masembe. The same thing happened. There was a serious fire, bush fires there. We consumed all their garden.
Yes, it would.
But the orchard, everything was gone. Everything was gone.
Yeah, some of these factors are our own activities in the forest. You know, presently the vegetation is very dry.
Very dry.
And imagine people smoking cigarettes. Sorry for the language, but there are people who will smoke in the forest.
No,
and
there's
then
no sorry. You just need to be blunt about it.
And then they may end up, throwing, anywhere the cigarette end. Remember it has fire. So if it lands on that dry grasses, and over time it is being blown by the wind, so there's a tendency of that fire starting. So when that starts, you say there is no,
it's unknown.
It's unknown. It is caused by that particular person. So smoking, and not say smoking activities in the forest can lead to bushfires.
Because I can relate to the fear it caused when it happens. As someone who was born and brought up in the village, I know. No, I know what I'm telling you. Seriously,
Mr. Jiba.
No, honestly, the thing is that man, I'm proud to sit anywhere. Man, I'm from the village. Understand? Man, I know what it costs. So I'm not talking they're gonna suffer. Understand? I know how it feels.
Yes.
And I think, like you said, you there too. The sun is
wow. Dafa war a stop. Why fii ñëpp si village bi lañ jógee.
I was from the village.
Fii daal ñëpp am na ku nekk am nga village boo jógee. So Mr. Jiba, let's talk about capacity.
Capacity.
You know, how strong is the capacity of the fire and rescue service? How good are they to fight fire?
Okay, thank you. Are you asking about the equipment and appliance capacity, or you asking about the capacity of the personnel?
I'm talking about the personnel.
Oh, the personnel.
Yes.
Yeah, how good are they to fight fire?
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. The fire department is a well-trained institution.
Yeah.
Very well-trained institution.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have our relationship with England.
Yeah.
We receive our trainings from the British.
Yeah.
And from 1970, it was 1978, something like that. When our institution was founded.
Okay.
Up to date, it is entirely Avon, and Avon is a county in England that offer us training. When they come to this country, they don't just stop at the combos. They are willing and ready to go with us. You can hear what my colleague said. We were with them in Kiang Keneba. Good. This is all because they would like to filter the information, their own local information, to internationalize it, to bring it to the Gambia, so that the Gambian people will know, at the village, will know that firefighting is just unique. The way they fight fire in England is the very way we fight fire here. England also has bush. When their bush catches fire, the way they attack it is the way we attack our bush fires here. And that's why when they come here, they provide both vehicles for bush fire application and vehicles for domestic fire application, and even industrial fires.
But Mr. Jiba, 30 years of partnership with Avon, it's been 30 years. Don't you think at least there should be that sense of independence now, whereby we have our own in-house training? Probably it is happening. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we do.
Or have a small institution where people who want to be firefighters can go and build their capacities. In as much as partnership is important, but at some point it is important that you also become so independent that you don't have to depend on a partner to build the capacities of your people.
Yeah, like you have the police training school.
Yeah, exactly. We need to have a firefighting school. It's a noble profession.
Yeah, we do have a firefighting or brigade training school, we call it, brigade training school. Or you can call it fire and rescue training school, but the standard name, for example, from our end is brigade training school, because we are the fire brigade. Okay, and it is situated in Bakau. All of us have been trained there. Some of us did not enjoy from that Western training. Some of us never went to England to train, but a good number of our officers went to England to train.
Amazing.
And when they train, they come back here, they become trainers of trainees, and that training school, I have served there for 10 good years as an instructor. When I left the training school, some 5 years ago, I was transferred to Banjul to pick up other responsibilities. So I'm happy to tell you that there is a training school for the fire service, and it is in Bakau. That is where we train our recruits. As we even speak, we have 50 recruits.
There.
50 recruits here training.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's
50
good to
recruits
know.
training. Yeah.
But you shouldn't have been sent to Banjul. You know, you have good skills, so you should have been at the training school. Huh?
Anyway,
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so, man, I don't know. Are there any plans to further decentralize your service? Because, I mean, you imagine a whole region like LRR, or for example, or Upper River region, and you have only one fire station in Basse, and you have to serve all the way to URR, for Wooly rather, up to, you know, Pasamas, or for example, LRR from Soma to Kiang to Pakaliba. The distance is...
Yeah, as we speak, there is total decentralization. But you know, this happened face by face. We used to be called Combo Fire Service, right?
At the time.
In fact, yeah, we used to be called City Brigade, not Combo.
Okay.
City Brigade mean only Banjul Fire Station operating in Banjul, and only the people of Banjul, I mean, enjoys from, you know, the services offered by the fireman. At some point, Baka was built, and then it became Combo Fire Service. Okay. You know, because now you cannot just call it City Brigade. It is like Banjul and, you know, some part of Combo. Today we are called Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. That is because of the decentralization. Right? But yet still, the intention is to make sure we have a station in every district. You know, we have at least every region 1 or 2. In KM here we have 3. Bakau, Kotu, and, you know, Serekunda.
I think that's smart.
And in West Coast we have 2. Kanilai and Brikama, and it goes on. Basse is URR, Basse is CRR rather. Basse is CRR. We have Basse itself and Bajakunda, which is under construction. So, but the intention is to make sure we have it in every district.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. I think fire now should be treated like road accidents. Road accidents, it's too much. Fire is too much. So I think it should be a priority for not just government, but even private sector. I mean, I know the fire and rescue service is open to donations from private institutions. Am I right? So obviously, it's everyone's responsibility to be able to support your institution. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. We will now go for a short commercial break. Thank you so much for always willing to join us here on this program to have a discussion in relation to disasters. And next time, I will tell Aliou Cisse not to bore us with his I'm from Jara, Mansi village, okay, and all of that. Everyone is coming from a village. You're lost. No,
really? Are you from a village?
I'm from Nyomi. Am I not from a village?
I'll bring you a live chicken.
We will go for a short break. I'm not having this conversation. I told you yesterday. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the click segment. Bye.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the QMoney platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with QMoney by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. QMoney, Sunyu Kalpe.
Begin your SUV life. S-Pass Motors, the new authorized dealer for Kia. Visit us today or call us on 3522-222, 353-2222.
Looking for the fastest and easiest way to receive money transfers from abroad? Well, QMoney and RIA just made it happen. Now you can receive international money transfer from RIA directly into your QMoney account with no additional cost. Once you receive an SMS alert about your transfer, walk into any QMoney agent across the country to receive your payment for free or use the money immediately to buy credit, QPower and other QMoney services. It's fast, safe and convenient. For more info, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
I am the light goddess. Everything I touch turns into light. I am the light at the end of the tunnel, and my technology is the answer. I am the happiness in your life. I keep you connected, and I am Q-Power. I am Q-Cell. I am Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Call 111 for more information.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my co-host from Jara. Thank you so much for joining us, Aliou Cisse from Jara down there. You know, thank you so much. It's good to have you here. So moving on, we have Skengman Sweezy.
It's great. Shout out to all the Jara massive.
Hey, pick up my brother. Pick up
big
my brother.
up. And shout out to the Nyomi people there as well. I never knew you were from Nyomi.
Ñun dañ bari class wa Nyomi fo leen gis class lañ am. Ñun dañoo diw. Xamataan bi dañ dé diw suñu yaram yi. Ñun duñ dé mboyo.
It's about to turn up in the studio, man. I'm Skengman Sweezy, and my guest today is Young EVS. Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, man.
I appreciate it.
You're about to drop a fire, man. I could say a fire.
Yeah.
Neighbor with Hussein Dada.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that. First of all, let's talk about you, bro. Tell us about you, man. Because I believe you came into the industry not long ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think you've even had 2 years in the music industry yet.
No.
So we need to know about you, bro.
It's been a year in the industry now.
Yeah.
My name is Ibrahim Fofana. I'm only 18. Yeah, I started this music last year with one of my friends, Imani.
Yeah.
We've been on the Saturdays Plus, I think.
Yeah, I think once as well.
Yeah.
And Gang Vibe as well. You guys have been on it as well, you know.
Yes.
You guys are doing great, man. Since the last time to now, I've seen the progress and hard work you put in the music as well.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you
now,
very
let's
much.
talk about the project you're about to drop with Hussein Dada.
Yes.
It's about to drop, my neighbor. How does the collab come about, you and Hussein?
This song, I recorded it alone with a verse. Then Hussein was on a live.
Yeah.
It was a night, really late night. So I went on his live, and he said he wanted to see artists that can perform their songs, you know. So I just came and then I performed the song to him. He said he really liked it and he would like to link, you know.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. Then we went to Stylish. I told Stylish, and then Stylish left it there for him. So he came when I was in the studio and we recorded it together.
Yeah, but before we talk about the video or play the trailer of the video, let's just watch a previous music video of you, and then when we come back, we talk about it. Let's watch the song Rover by Ibrahim here, and when we come back, we continue the interview.
It's just music.
No, no, no. No, no. No, no. I'ma pull up in a Rover. Baby, just come closer. We can do it on the sofa. They don't need to know, girl. Pull up in a Rover. Baby, just come closer. We can do it on the sofa. They don't need to know, girl. No, girl. All my friends said, leave that girl alone. You're my energy, I need you on the low. And you they make me lose control. You don't need your flesh, man, I need your soul. Baby, come follow me, let's go. Oh, check this, baby, you're the baddest, the coolest. Your body so soft, that's the finest. Pussy 101, that's the tightest. Shine, 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 you're the brightest. You know my type, the thickest. You're the cure to all my sickness. Trap, 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 that's the business. When I get the money from my siblings. Ready or not, man, I'm living. I'm the highest in the building. My name will chill up.
I'm gonna pull up in your world. I hope you had a Range Rover, bro.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about this song and this video. How does this come about, bro?
This song,
I believe this is your first single alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about it, bro.
This was like right after I dropped a song with Imani, then I knew I had to hit the studio because the song had a lot of hits, it had a lot of views, you know. So then I went to the studio and I had a beat, but then I didn't even write the song. So when I went to the studio, it just came. So I started with the hook.
Yeah.
Then I had some verse. You can see that the verse were not solid like now.
They were better, bro.
Yeah,
for real. For a starter, they were better, man. Now let's talk about your educational background.
Yeah.
I believe as an artist, you've been to school, you learned so many stuff as well, and I believe you're still going to school as well, trying to work on yourself properly.
Yes.
So let's talk about your educational background. How are you managing school and work? And school and music, rather.
Well, by weekends, I go to studio most of the times. I go studio sometimes, I sleep there. Yeah, maybe I'll be there like 3 days sometimes straight.
Yeah, you know music is kind of jealous. It doesn't want you mixing it with other stuff as well. So that's why I keep asking this question, and that's why I'm asking this question as well. So what level are you at in your education, actually?
11th grade.
11th grade?
Yes.
Wish you all the best, bro. You're keeping it real, man.
We're waiting for the grade 12 result.
To be out, man.
This morning.
Now, what is young EBS working on, the project?
I'm working on a project named Sounds of Ips. Sounds of Ips, it's going to be like 5 tracks, including Neighbor. Neighbor is going to be track 1. Yeah, so Neighbor is going to be live on the 24th of this month.
You shouldn't talk about that, bro. I want us to premiere that video. I want us to just play the trailer later. But we're still going to play it. It's not late, man. Now, I keep asking artists this question that are coming to the industry.
Yes.
How did you see yourself in the next 5 years in the Gambian music industry?
In the next 5 years?
Yeah. And secondly as well, do you think you have a role to play in the industry as well? Do you think you have the future out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I have a style that nobody has.
Right.
I think when I'm ready to hit the industry, I'm gonna do it a way no one is gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is so unique about your music?
It's not like everyone in Gambia is trying to follow the one that is biggest in Gambia and trying to copy their sound. I'm trying to bring my own sound.
You're trying to do your own thing.
Yeah.
One thing I want to put forward, I want.
We just have to wrap it up. We're running out of time.
All right. Before we wrap everything up, let's just watch this trailer that he's about to drop. Let's watch it, and when we come back, we wrap up everything.
My neighbor, can you do me a favor? Please call the ambulance. See her body on fire, on fire, on fire, fire.
We out of time, like seriously, we run out of time, man. Final words, and then we wrap the interview up.
I'm saying thanks to everyone that supported my music, and to my fans that are on my Instagram. My Instagram got hacked by these Yahoo boys, so I don't know what to do.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it happens all the time, man. I pray I'm not a victim. But for my end, I'm saying bye-bye till I come your way tomorrow again with another amazing show of Click segment. And don't forget,
big up, man. Big up, man.
Shout out to everybody.
Big up, man.
From your
congratulations, you're in grade 11, so education first, okay?
Right.
Education first, music second.
Right.
And you never know what the future holds.
Music
right?
first, education second.
No. Education first, music
For
second.
me,
and you
music
will
first,
regret that.
education second.
Don't listen to him, don't listen to him. Ali, education first, music second. Yeah, it's just it. So I'm afraid that is all we have time for till we come your way tomorrow. Bye for now. Education first, music second.
ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wér-gu-yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamantene ni dina la indil wér gu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génnee fa lépp li nga xamantene ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génnee lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamantene ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamantene moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin yi def ko ndox mu sellate óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamantene ni day baax ci wér gu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD PO1 membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sellate wóor seeti leen one stop water solution limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 one stop water solution limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu